I guess dinosaurs can go extinct without a meteor. Let's see if I can get myself framed up here. Hi, my name is Shu, and I'm reviewing the Seraphon Army Box set. Thanks to Games Workshop for sending Rerolling 1's a copy. We're going to break this into two sections. First, we're going to talk about what's in the box from the collector's point of view, and we're going to talk about what's in the book. I'm not going to go too deep into the rules stuff right now because I'm mainly a collector and painter, so I'm going to take this review from that angle. This army box has 10 cavalry models in it, which are called raptidons, and they can be built in one of two ways, either as chargers or as hunters. They synergize with each other on the tabletop. I built one of each. It has a new slan model, which has been brought up to date to the reimagining of the Croak model. Yeah, the derpy old frog has done its time, and it's time to be replaced. The slan model does have some options with how you can build it. There's these little skinks go on the sides, and there are some vine options for the base that kind of make one a little bit more wobbly than the other, but it looks cool and dynamic, more like it's floating. And lastly, it has an update to the Saurus Warrior model, which is 21 years old now. I have 30 of these guys. I'm not replacing them because the new models are roughly the same size. But they are very cool. They look a lot like the Blood Bowl team, and they look a little bit like what you see in Total War Warhammer. So, is the box any good? From a collector's standpoint, I'd say yeah. It's a good way to kickstart your Seraphon collection, whether it's brand new or it's aging from where it was before. You probably won't be buying multiple copies of this box, however, unless you love having lots of the same book. The next section of this review is going to talk about a phenomenon I call models. This is basically where Games Workshop has updated a model range and they've changed something that impacts your collection, and you look at that and you go, models. So Games Workshop has an aging product line. They have a couple choices with what they are going to do with updating to the new thing. So on one hand, they could give you something that's brand new, like here's a new model in the place of the role of the old models, or they can give you something that's like for like. They did a little bit of both of these. The Saurus Warriors are like for like, the Croc Sigors are like for like, although the new models in both of these examples are just stellar compared to the old ones. And in some cases, we do have some models that are just gone out of the range. So let's talk about the book next. This is what is going to happen to your collection based on what I see in these warscrolls. The following units are gone. I'm going to read them off this list here. Saurus Knights, Scar Veteran on Cold One, the Skink Priest, the Saurus Eternity Warden, the Saurus Sunblood, Chameleon Skinks, Razordons, and Salamanders. I gotta admit, the Salamanders stings a little bit because I love those guys so much. Now it's worth saying that Knights, Scar Veteran on Cold One, Chameleons, and Salamanders all have reimagined versions. So they've either been replaced with a like-for-like model, or they have a new unit that is a similar design that serves the same battlefield role. Where we once had the Saurus Knights, we now have the Agrodon Lancers, which are like a bigger, almost Vanguard model size, I think. It's supposed to be like a bigger elite unit. And then you have the Spawn of Chotek, which is a chubby dragon-looking thing, and it has a new battlefield role compared to Salamanders, where it is a longer range and more of an artillery piece. You'll probably see fewer of these in an army than you saw of Salamanders before. Now, one puzzling thing about the War Scrolls is the photograph they chose for the War Scroll of the Saurus Guard. It's the old model. That could mean a couple of things. It could mean that they're going to come out with something that's a complete replacement, or it could also mean that they just didn't have a prototype ready for proof when they took the photos of the War Scrolls. So, I'll be looking forward to seeing what they do, and I hope they don't just sunset the model, because right now, Croak kind of needs those dudes to be super optimized. Now, I've seen some beloved models come and go over the years, starting with the Wood Elves. 17 War Scrolls from the Wood Elves line have been cut, or actually not cut exactly. There's still rules for them, but the rules have been mangled beyond repair. Like the buffing ability on the Shadow Dancer only affects the wizard, in case you want to double the movement speed of your wizard and get it into hand-to-hand combat. That is just a really weird way to sunset old models and make them not relevant in the current hobby environment. I'd rather see like a good set of rules published and they say, we're no longer updating these, enjoy. They learned from that, I think, and applied those learnings when they sunset some of the Skaven units. I think the Mortar team is gone and a couple of others as well. That was a little bit of a better handling of it because the models that they got rid of can be converted or proxied as something new. But I will leave you with this thought. Nobody needs to give you permission to have fun with your collection. You just don't need that. The only person you need permission to have fun with your models is your opponent. There's rules for the Saurus Knights in the old book, and there's points for them there too. There's nobody saying you can't use that stuff unless you want to play completely match play compliant in the latest and greatest set of rules. It's your collection. Do what you want with it. Have fun. So that's my short-lived review of the Seraphon Army. I'm absolutely adding these models to my Seraphon collection. I'm definitely looking forward to building this army out and completing this project. These kinds of sweeping changes before have caused me to give up on projects, and I'm actually invigorated here. I feel like the model updates were a long time coming, and I'm glad to see them. Let me know what you think of these Seraphon changes. If you like this review, if you like this kind of content, let me know. If you hated it, also let me know. I want to do better at this stuff, and thanks for watching.